So everybody is doing mini videos, and I thought in this time of the pandemic, why not start doing 1 or 2 minute videos, just showing people what stock is interesting me and what I'm thinking about in the markets. And today I wanted to talk about the future of car sharing and ride sharing. When I was looking at the wonderful skies outside, the fresh air, I started thinking, well, I really don't want to be driving as much as before, and I certainly should have been in my car once the lease expires next year. And I was even thinking of buying an electric car, but in the meantime, well, maybe I don't even should not even buy a car. I should maybe just do some ride sharing. So I looked around at possibly buying stock in Zipcar. So I went online and just show you my process here. I went online and I typed in for Zipcar and I looked through the page and their business model and where they're all available. And like here, all right, this shows. Well, I live in Hoboken, and I don't know why it's showing Boston. But anyway, I live in the New York area, New York, New Jersey. And here's like the area. There are lots of Zipcars in my area. I could easily just get a membership and stop owning a car, and whenever I need to, I could just hop in one or use any of the other ride shares. So I thought, well, why not invest in it? Because if I'm having the idea of changing over to Zipcar, probably a lot of other people are, and so it should be a good investment. So I went and I searched online who owns Zipcar, and it turns out that it's Avis Budget Group. So I looked up the Avis Budget Group ticker and its car, and then I went into TD Ameritrade and I typed in car, and I purchased a bunch of shares in car, probably at an amount, at a higher amount than it is now. But I currently have a little bit of loss, and as you can see from here, the trend line over the past 3 years, it's negative. But I think this recent trend line in the past, say 5 days, that this like steep decline, that's because of the Hertz bankruptcy. But it doesn't make any sense when you look at their earnings. You look at their earnings over the past 5 years. If you look at trend lines and let's go and look at their fundamentals. Their fundamentals are pretty strong, right? They've got a really solid income statement. Their cash from operations is stable at about $2.5 billion. The cash and short-term investments have been steadily increasing, so their balance sheet is really well maintained. It's just not like Hertz, which is highly leveraged and managed by Carl Icahn, who looks at maximizing shareholder value over long-term viability. That's my bias anyway. So I thought Hertz is a pretty good buy, and I really like the company. I like the fact that it had the insight of purchasing Zipcar, and that it's therefore positioned not only to take advantage of the car rental market, but also the rising interest in ride sharing. Certainly, once I'll be driving again, I definitely will become a customer, especially after I return my leased car next year. Thanks for listening to my little video. I hope to bring you one or two a week, maybe even more. Maybe I'll think it's really cool to video myself, and I'll post them up on YouTube. So for you to comment on, and perhaps I'll even get better at this shiny reflection light that shows pure amateur. Thanks so much for listening in.